On the nation's calendar for 2024, there is no date more anticipated than November 5th, and it's an important one. Circled in big red ink, it's a mixed basket of excitement and trepidation for that day. Depending on who you ask, most would probably just say it's full of trepidation. But it doesn't have to be that way. It shouldn't be that way because the presidential election primaries begin January 15th in Iowa. Elections mean we don't have to settle for a rematch. We don't have to settle for less than we can reimagine for ourselves and our future. Although the media would love for it to be a rematch, what the majority of voters are saying is they don't want that. Many recent polls have made this evident. 56% don't want Biden to be the nominee and 58% don't want Trump. If so many Americans strongly don't want a rematch, then it begs the question of why that's the direction the nation is headed. Well, the answer lies in the primaries. Far too often voters stay home, thinking the general election is all that matters. Yes, November is important, but coming up over this next month is just as important, if not more. The 2024 presidential election doesn't start in November. It starts now, and the next few months could decide the next few decades in our country. For there to be improved action in presidential primaries, there needs to be improved understanding in the impact of these primaries. It's not something that requires a distance trip to the historical analyst. Just look at the primaries in 2016. According to Pew Research Center, turnout in the first 29 GOP primaries in 2016 averaged 16.6% of eligible voters. Even in states like Florida, where it's been emphasized time and time again that elections have consequences, there were too many who decided to stay home. 46.2% of registered voters took part in the 2016 primaries there in Florida. 9 months later, however, 74.5% of registered voters cast their vote in the general election. These numbers show the difference between the primaries and the general election. And Americans have felt the difference. We're feeling it up until this moment. Our founding fathers had envisioned a government of the people, by the people, for the people. And the primary process is a cornerstone of that vision. Like the scripture says, without clarity of vision, people perish. Your pocketbook perishes with you. And our political primaries are the place we, the people, get to express the moral vision that we want in our culture and in our country. This primary is the opportunity to write a new future, a better future, if we want it. We must be engaged now. We don't have to settle for a rematch. We can have a primary victories that hopefully will be written in part by leaders young enough to read it.